Hold on. Have you all heard what happened on reality TV? Because Harris just swapped in his love and hip-hop storyline for an orange jumpsuit, Mendeecees notices, baby. No, this isn't for a part in an Oz reboot. We are discussing actual handcuffs, flashing lights, and a lot of reported things that he did. We adore that word, as you are all aware. Erica Dixon recently made a claim that was so shocking that the VH1 cameras had to halt. According to Sis, Mendeecees attacked her. Yes, it was attacked. Wait till you hear Yandy Smith's reaction, shaky, defenseless, and trapped in the muck like a deer on a high-definition reality TV show. If you think that's alarming. Spotlight. Is this the downfall of a family man who was once a street king? Or is there someone out there doing publicity stunts that seem like they belong in Mona Scott's dream diary? Additionally, why is Erica suddenly acting as a whistleblower after years of being Maya from the drama? People, fasten your seatbelts because we are about to enter a scandal. The Kardashians appear to be on a Disney family vacation because of how disorganized and messed up they are. Are you prepared? Excellent. The pot is screaming, so let's get started on this tea. Just when we believed 2025 would take a short break, boom, Mendeecees spots Harris. Yes, I have changed, mister, I've changed. Now I'm zen. I'm currently seated behind prison following a startling charge made by none other than Erica Pinkett. And what she's saying, baby, whoosh, it looks like it was written for a reality program. This is real though, supposedly. Hold on now, let's take a moment to think about that. Men see the same man who once declared on Love and Hip Hop that he wished for harmony, tranquility, and a place to call home. Harmony, with Yandy Smith, was taken away in handcuffs after Erica said he had attacked her outright. Oh no, sweetheart. Do what actually happened, even if you say it isn't. Is this simply one another instance after influence-seeking reality TV networks? Or did Mendeecees finally lose it? This narrative is messier than a Love and Hip Hop reunion special, so buckle up. And it begins at a private gathering in Atlanta that was meant to focus on recovery and neighborhood, but ultimately resulted in yelling, tears, shattered glass, and an arrest. Erica Pinkett attended the same private dinner where Yandy and Mendeecees were invited as special guests. According to several sources, including a chatty caterer, who apparently overheard everything, it was meant to be a low-key affair, sort of, like a charity mixer with a dash of reality TV, you know. However, things quickly took a turn to the left. It seems that Erica and Mendeecees had some unresolved issues, and I don't mean awkward eye rolls across the room when I say beef. Tell you what you did to my confrontational energy. I mean, the worst part is still to come. There was no public beginning to the supposed altercation. Witnesses said that Erica drew Mendeecees aside so they could speak. That phrase seldom ends nicely, as you are all aware. In a few minutes, they raised their voices. Security began to slink up on them. Additionally, according to one waiter, Erica yelled something like, "You think you can put your hands on me and walk away like it's nothing." People shouted, glass shattered, and everything burst at that point. Before the police were called, Mendeecees was reportedly detained by two event security personnel. And you know who stood there the entire time, stunned and unmoving? Yes, Yandy Smith is looking guess if she had just seen a ghost. Let's go back a bit because this wasn't a random occurrence. No ma'am, this is a long history. Mendeecees and Erica observed that they have experienced years of hostility. Additionally, there have always been rumors that Mendy's relationship with Erica in the past was inappropriate. Something that was significantly edited out of the first few seasons. Even though they have never publicly discussed the route due to their problems, there was stuff that went down between Mendeecees and Erica that Mona Scott Young told us to cut out of the reunion episode. It was too dark, says a former production assistant who is now sharing details on Reddit. I apologize, but it's possible that this man's troubled past was ignored in order to boost TV numbers since they didn't want to deal with legal issues at the time. Not to mention that Mendeecees is familiar with prison. Let's not pretend to be brand new. After serving years in prison on drug trafficking charges, the individual came out to inform us that he had changed. He was wearing linen shirts, meditating. He served as the Dalai Lama of Harlem, teaching to young people and hosting podcasts on redemption. Or so we believed. However, all of that change man stuff is phony if Erica's statements are accurate. According to sources, Erica Haas formally reported the incident to Atlanta Police Department, alleging that Mendeecees grabbed her wrist, pushed her, and threatened to kill her if she ever mentioned the past again. Let's be clear now. Although, these are accusations, they're bad optics. Very terrible. Particularly after Mendeecees shared a sweet Instagram picture of Yandy and their children last week with the comment, "Legacy is everything. Protect your peace at all costs." Well, sir, it appears that you are the one upsetting the tranquility. Speaking about Yandy, a close family friend told us that she is sad, but they didn't want to be named. Want to get dragged on Twitter? Yandy assumed they were in a nice location and didn't know Erica would be at the event. She also didn't think Mendeecees would lose his temper like that, according to one bystander. Yandy was observed sobbing in the parking lot as Mendy was led into the police car. She reportedly kept asking, "How did we come back here? What happened? How did we end up here?" And listen, even if we occasionally make fun of her, that is heartbreaking because, whether you like Yandy or not, she has been fighting for Mendy from the beginning. This is how she gets compensated for holding him down while he was incarcerated, protecting him from trolls, and taking on the role of stepmother to his children. However, this is only the start of the upheaval. Part 2 is where the real drama is going to blow up, because honey, Twitter is ablaze. The blogs are devouring this. And Erica, she's not wait until you hear what was released from the precinct the night he was arrested and how the public is responding to this controversy. I'll stop talking now. If you were expecting the arrest to be the last twist, then get ready for the drama just pulled a Bianca and released an entire surprise album of sloppy receipts. As a result, Mendeecees was jailed and stuffed like a thanks to hashtags like #MenDC #exposed, #justice for Erica, and the enduring hashtag why Andy deserves. Social media didn't remain silent on Thanksgiving turkey. Instead, they burst like a microwave without water on the ramen. And chili. You know, when the Instagram live sirens go off, it's going to go wild. First up on Mick Aracena herself, sis wasn't just crying. Better were trending before you could even refresh your timeline. He put his hands on me as if I were a national security threat, and she yelled, waving receipts, yelling, and holding her phone like it was a Grammy. And where was she? A phony leaked police report claims that Yandy is standing in Macy's window like a mannequin. Damn, the shade is cold. But wait, it gets worse, which of course, ended up in the shadow room by accident. Following a heated debate about some misplaced luxury things, including a vintage Diddy signed bad boy jacket, a Rolex, and some Fendi heels, Mendeecees reportedly went into full Hulk mode. Who fights over a 1997 jacket? Really? Anyway, an unnamed source from the Bronx named Chenis says she heard the entire altercation from the hotel corridor. Real Housewives meets WWE SmackDown. Erica was shouting about devotion. Yandy was sobbing into her acrylics. Erica was screaming, as if someone had just told him the love and hip-hop checks bounced. And I swear someone hurled a bottle of champagne now. While all of this was supposedly happening, Yandy reportedly attempted to mediate. But let's face it, sis was pulled from both sides and stuck in the middle like the Thanksgiving wishbone. Why am I always the one cleaning up your mess, girl? She allegedly yelled, according to sources. Let's not pretend to be spanking new because you married into it. Remember that this is not the first time Mendy has, according to one fan account. Go check on Yandy. If you're being held emotionally captive, blink twice. Another person tweeted, Yandy didn't sign up for this. She registered for AA Couples Cookbook, including a beautiful little VH1 wedding. Not for this episode of Game of Thrones set in a slum. But the enthusiasm isn't limited to the supporters. The purported female member of Erica's legal team, the lawyer, Tasha, said in a statement, "We are pursuing full charges against Mr. Harris. Our client experienced physical, mental, and emotional suffering while being publicly humiliated by two individuals she used to think of as family. Oh, the barbs, the betrayal, the impending large legal bag." Furthermore, according to Erica, Team Yandy was aware of Mendy's violent inclinations and had even warned her once upon a time. A moment during filming, but decided to keep quiet in order to preserve the brand. What brand is it? The brand girl. Please, Mendeecees, survive. Let's not pretend, however, that Yandy survived this either. According to a phony leaked email that was making the rounds, VH1X was reconsidering Yandy's appearance on Love and Hip Hop, it said. Although Yandy Smith is still a favorite among fans, the controversy surrounding her personal associations has raised worries. Regarding the Mendy's meltdown behind the tears is a two-part reunion that will air in 3 hours and feature one episode. And you know when VH1 starts reevaluating, it's only a matter of time until Mona Scott Young pops up with a two-part reunion, a complete reality TV-rated mess. Mick, you're working. Dodo completes it. Security had to physically step in as love and hip-hop producers allegedly attempted to get Yandy, Erica, and a still handcuffed Mendy into the same room for a healing session. Claimed to have screamed and thrown a bottle of rosewater at Yandy's forehead. You made it possible for him. He was bled by you. Yes. No recovery, only destruction. Rumors that Mendy is seeing old crew are circulating through Harlem. The fact that I used to move weight back in his day but now move smoothly could be working against him as well, you know. The word is the fact that he sold them out in his initial attempt to defend himself makes people feel deceived. And for that reason, some believe that Mendy's loss of narrative control was more important in this hotel altercation than a pocketbook. Hey dude, with just when you thought it was over, too many secrets and adversaries ultimately let it slip. And this time, not even Yandy's par-friendly tears can make it right. According to reports, little Mendy played NBA YoungBoy shirtless while mumbling "My pops Wilden live on TikTok." Free him, sir, but he's still my dad. This isn't the press release we requested. And then, as if the drama gods weren't finished, a phony news report that said Dr. Phil would arrange a televised intervention between Yandy, Erica, and Mendeecees appeared on their requirement that no one enters the studio with a gun, wig, or wine glass, because safety comes first. Keep watching because we're going to dissect the impending lawsuits, career breakdowns, and network meltdowns in this video. I promise you that the consequences will be more explosive than any VH1 season finale ever. But wait. Think again if you believed that things couldn't get any wilder. Because at the time, the internet was an anonymous source, who claimed to be a former Mendy's assistant, released what they dubbed a digital time bomb while the company caught its breath. This so-called insider claims that not only was the hotel event authentic, but Erica also allegedly possesses voice recordings. Off Mendeecees is allegedly threatening her by saying things like, "You don't know who you're messing with." This mysterious assistant, who goes by the pseudonym Spill Queen 69, said she used to handle Mendy's schedule before being banned for asking too many questions. She added that Mendeecees had informed Yandy that he was attending a prayer breakfast on the particular night. Tell me, darling, that it's not poetic that you had a whole prayer breakfast and ended up with Erica at the Ritz. However, because the internet never forgets, Erica's Instagram story, which she later removed, made it even more bizarre. You only saw a hand with a very particular tattoo in that 3-second footage. The same tattoo. Indeed, in a Get Ready With Me video, Mendy proudly flaunted her skills by smashing a champagne glass on the ground and declaring, "This is what I get for telling the truth." The internet went crazy. One person on Twitter wrote, another commented, "If this is true, Yandy had better pull a Bianca and walk away. That's not just a slip-up, that's a man-down situation." People were analyzing the video in slow motion, as it one TikTok user further enhanced the tattoo by zooming in on it and adding, "Yep, that's him. It was the freaking Zapruder movie." The case has been closed, but this is where things start to spiral out of control since after for a lady who typically goes live when things go wrong, Yandy was utterly silent after the video appeared. She didn't share any stories, quotes about God's timing, prayer hands, or even a cryptic "I'm good" selfie, nothing, which only served to fuel the flames further because, in the world of reality TV, silence does not equate to peace, which implies that SHT is going down. Then, just as the silence was beginning to seem suspicious, yes, not even a civil court case, Sis marched into a police station after Erica filed what insiders are describing as a verbal harassment and intimidation lawsuit against Mendeecees at an Atlanta precinct. And you know it's true when you head straight to the boys in blue instead of the shade rooms. Now, let's discuss what was purportedly in that report. According to the document shared by the dubious Instagram account Alone Filtered, Erica said Mendeecees told him she was leaving, and it wasn't pretty, so he confronted her in the hotel lobby. She claims he grabbed her arm, yelled at her, and cautioned her to be careful about what she posted online. There's more. Though it seems that hotel security had to accompany Erica to her Uber, and the entire altercation was captured on CCTV camera, which the authorities are now examining. And guess what the hotel says now? No comment at this time. Fans should know that someone is messed up if a luxury hotel stops commenting. Ain't no way Yandy went through prison visits, one fan said. referring to Mendy's appearance as the antagonist in a Tyler Perry film, child support disputes and baby mama problems, all for this man to cheat on you. Here's the worst part. Though, not Mr. Reformed Criminal, acting like a Real Housewives villain. Normally keeping things quiet, Yandy's brother jumped on y'all, don't know half of it. This man has had a headache for years. Stated on Instagram Live. Oh, so now the family is jumping in. We're just watching Lifetime's original series. Awaiting the second installment. Hip-hop and Love executives are reportedly keeping a close eye on the issue and re-editing scenes for the next season because, well, if Mendy finds out that they actually did all of this, you can bet they'll include it in the trailer. Not to mention the other members of the cast. Some men will never grow up, wrote Cambella, the person who constantly seems to be in the center of everyone else's affairs, in a mysterious tweet. Girl, you were just clapping from Mendeecees last season. Now you're throwing shade. It's chaos, fans said, quickly inviting her into the argument. You can't stop watching. It's a car wreck. It's confusing. Speaking of vehicle crashes, we must discuss what transpired with Yandy immediately following the controversy. A women's empowerment event in Brooklyn was scheduled to include Sis as the keynote speaker, but guess what? She pulled out at the last minute. She had a personal emergency, according to the organizers. Additionally, when someone inquired about the drama's connection to her assistant, they responded, quote, "No comment at this time." The hotel said the same thing. In essence, that is saying yes without actually saying it. If that wasn't suspicious enough, you can probably guess who did attend the same event. Erica, pretending nothing had occurred, smiling and sporting a new blowout. She might as well have mentioned Yandy directly in the caption of a carousel she shared, which read, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper, baby." It's now a full-fledged war on social media. Supporters era split. Some people who support Yandy believe she is a victim in this situation and ought to flee. Others support Erica and call her courageous for sharing her experiences. Next, you have the muddy middle, the people who only want the uncut security footage, as if it were a scene from Marvel and the credits. Not to mention that Mendeecees has yet to speak. In an ambiguous statement, his public relations team stated that Mendeecees maintains his innocence and anticipates clearance his name. Meanwhile, Sis is out here with surveillance footage, potential receipts, and a fan base that has already found him guilty in TikTok's court. Now, everyone is asking themselves, where does this go from here? It's over if those security footage is released. This is where videos on Etsy start. Another bomb went off just when we thought this situation could get much messier, as Yandy's social media was ablaze with videos showing Erica exiting what looked to be the police station barefoot, sobbing, and holding up her phone as if she had just survived the storm of a lifetime. The film showed Erica still suffering from the emotional roller coaster of Mendeecees' arrest. People began making actual connections between dots. Quick. There had previously been an altercation between Erica and Mendeecees behind closed doors, according to information leaked by a few sources. There were two versions, according to rumors, that Erica had been attempting to alert Yandy for months. When the doors closed, Mendeecees, the affable public figure who only his inner circle saw. Oh phew. Let's face it, though Yandy had always supported her boyfriend. She accompanied him on the ride through his last prison term, provided for his children, and kept the family together like a real soldier. Now, she was left dumbfounded, caught off guard, and forced to choose between standing up for her husband and believing the woman who had just gotten him imprisoned. It's not merely a disorganized victims, it's a trap. Fans split as the video continued to circulate. Free Mendeecees, he could never, said half of social media users, while the other half said, it's about time. The truth was revealed. Instagram, meanwhile, went quiet. Just silence, no stories, no posts. You already know that when someone like Yandy stops talking, it's a sign that something significant is happening. To follow. According to backstage sources, Yandy had canceled all Love and Hip Hop filming. According to rumors, producers begged her to at least make a remark on camera, but she refused. Not until she learned the whole truth and understood what actually transpired between Erica and Mendeecees that evening. But hold on, it gets darker. It appears like Erica was more than just upset after the altercation. Her close friend claims that she had screenshots, audio clips, video footage, and proof when she spoke anonymously to a gossip blog. She had allegedly been documenting bits and pieces of her conversations with Mendeecees for weeks because she suspected that things might get out of control at some point. And there are even rumors that Erica was attempting to submit those receipts to a prominent media site, such as TMZ, Baller Alert, or The Shade Room. As if that weren't crazy enough. When those purported receipts were dropped, however, everyone was braced for a storm. In the meantime, Yandy's earlier interview tapes, in which she would defend Mendeecees' claim that he had changed, and claim that being in prison had made him a better man, were being scrutinized by fans. Did he truly change? Or did he simply become more adept at concealing his actual self? Not to mention the impact Mendy believes his incarceration had on their reputation, children, and family. Yandy has put a lot of effort into changing her image, from reality TV drama queen to supreme mom, activist and businessman. However, this arrest caused a hiccup in all of that. Suddenly, even her brand sponsorships were being scrutinized. According to reports, some businesses put a halt to partnerships in order to observe how things develop because, let's be honest, in this digital age, one scandal may ruin years off work through the night. Yandy, however, had no intention of letting the press tell her narrative. She eventually spoke out a week after the arrest, but it wasn't through an interview or a video. Just one eerie Instagram remark that said, "Sometimes the individuals who destroy you the fastest are the ones you fight." For the most, boom, the internet was rocked by that single line. Everyone had an opinion, whether they were bloggers, fans, or celebrities. A few claimed that Mendeecees was the obvious target. Others questioned whether Yandy was being betrayed by Erica. The theories were wild. Then, as no one had anticipated, Yandy was seen at a courthouse not with Mendeecees. However, her attorney, there were rumors that she was requesting a separation and potentially a restraining order to protect herself and the children while the inquiry was ongoing. Although we don't yet know what she submitted, one thing is certain, it was more than simply a drama. This was anguish from real life. At last, Mendeecees' team issued a brief statement. They disputed every allegation, claimed that the fight was exaggerated, and maintained that they were certain that the truth will soon be revealed. However, the harm was already done. He began to lose followers. Even some of his old love and hip-hop co-stars were publicly separating themselves, and there were whispers on the streets. Everyone was anticipating what Erica's receipts. Everyone was anticipating Yandy's next move. But this is what's so twisted about the whole thing. Days prior to everything that transpired, Mendeecees had published Yandy and the children in a family portrait with a message about progress and loyalty. Now, it all seems phony, as if it were a front for the turmoil that was developing beneath data. As the case progressed, the destination of this roller coaster is unknown. Will all allegations against Mendeecees be dropped? Is Erica's evidence going to be credible in court? Will Yandy ever be able to forgive them both? Because this is the harsh reality. No, regardless of your stance, the harm has been done. Families were split up, reputations were damaged, and the heritage Yandy had fought so hard to preserve was in jeopardy. This goes beyond mere rumors. This is kind of a life-altering drama. Ultimately, we are all left with the same query. How much treachery can a woman endure before she permanently leaves? That's the entire startling tale, everyone. This drama is obviously far from over, as seen by the courtroom pandemonium and police sirens. However, what are your thoughts? Was Mendy's behavior truly inappropriate, or is Erica's side more complex than we realize? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. We'd want to hear everything. Additionally, remember to like, hit that notification and subscribe. Ring to ensure you don't overlook any updates. On this thrilling tale and more. Going to experience some celebrity drama. This is only the start. I'll see you all in the following one.